We're trying again. It's Toilet Tunes. And now we pause. It's Toilet Tunes. I'm your host, Sarah Morris. Folks come to my big green bathroom somewhere north of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we sing a little, we talk a bit, we put it out on the internet just in time for your Friday afternoon. Stay toilet tuned, stay toilet tuned. And that was our pause. I'm Sarah Morris, and as the song just played, I invite people in my big green bathroom, people like Dave Mehling, who I say, come and sing a song with me, and so, right now, we're gonna do that.
Look at this face, I know the years are showing. Look at this life, I still don't know where it's going. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Look at these eyes, they've never seen what matters. Look at these dreams, so big and so better.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. So many questions left unanswered, so much I've never broken through.
And when I feel you near me, sometimes I see so clearly the only truth I'll ever know is me and you.
Look at this man, so blessed with inspiration. Look at this soul, still searching for salvation. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Dave Mehling, can we high five?
Yeah. Wow, that was a good one.
That was a good high five. That is Don't Know Much by Aaron Neville and Linda Ronstadt. An epic, fantastic love song that I was really excited we got to sing together. And you said we kind of did it in the style of Garth Brooks, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah, in the style of. Yeah.
In the style.
Love that.
I didn't do any big eye contact.
Thank you. I'm just totally not comfortable with that. Really, ever.
Okay, well,
And-
let's just look at our faces in the phone instead.
Yep.
And that will be better.
Cool.
Dave, I'm very excited to have you here today because I'm a huge fan of your music that you make. I'm going to look you right at the face when I said that.
Thank you.
Also, you made a record for me. You helped me make a record. I don't know how you want to call it. You produced a record that's out today.
Oh.
Today.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Today.
Yep, today.
In fact, we're going to have a big show tonight. So we're starting our day out like this. We're going to go change, or maybe not.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I think something different.
There's a kitten on your sweatshirt. You can wear it.
Okay.
At the Ice House in Minneapolis, if you happen to be around, I would love to see you. Dave would probably love to see you. Don't look him in the eye, but it'll be great. But yes, you produced. Here's to you. How many records have you produced?
2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you surprised when I asked you to produce a record? Because it's not like I knew you super well.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You played it cool.
Definitely. I was super excited though.
I was nervous to ask you.
Oh, well, I think, our friend Tom was kind of the go-between.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Northern, thanks for asking me to be part of this project. I mean, I'm just happy if anybody asks you to sing with them or play in their band, I think it's pretty flattering.
Yeah.
In any regard. It's amazing.
Lots of people ask you, I've got a list, and it's not exclusive, but currently you play with these bands: Taylor James Donsky, Airlands.
Yeah.
In the South, they'd say Airlands. Galen Lee, Haley Rydell, who was recently here, Stacey K, Emily Havik, who was here this year and will be at the show tonight opening. So you get to play double duty.
Yeah, yep.
That's exciting. And then you have your own project, Dave Mehling. You released a brand new album 2 weeks ago, 100% Denial.
Yep.
It's available, today's Bandcamp Friday, so it's a really great day to go and download it on Bandcamp.
Yes.
That's what I did. I downloaded it not on Bandcamp Friday, but I still have it.
Yeah.
Because I want to own it forever. But you can also stream it a bunch of times. That's a great idea. Dave, you, in addition to your solo work, let's see, we've got 100% Denial, you had Beach Boy. Beach Boy was the album that I fell in love with that made me ask you if you produced the record.
Mm-hmm.
And before that you had Fruit. What? Oh.
Tired Fruit?
Tired Fruit.
Yep. Afloat and one other one. I can't remember what that other record's called.
It's all on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And then you were in a band called the Fontanelles.
Yep. And we have a couple albums out.
Yeah. And that band is kind of Duluthy. Is it in origins? No?
That's just me.
It's just you? Well, you're Duluthy.
But everybody else is from around here.
Oh,
so.
okay. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I would have done more research, but I actually did do some research, but you're somewhat mysterious online.
I didn't have a good, well, I mean, it's just it takes a lot of energy to keep up on those details. I don't know how much people want to read about them, but sometimes people do.
Sometimes people want so many details.
People like a story.
People like a story. You were also in a duo with Stacey K, Mr. Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, and we're hoping to re-release our EP at some point.
Oh, cool.
Maybe with like a new song or something.
I like that.
But, I mean, we planned on doing that in 2021.
Yeah.
And so now, maybe 2024.
I love that year.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a good year. In addition to all the music you make, which I think you make with this I interpret it as like dedicated and playful spirit, which I really appreciate. You also are a visual artist.
Yeah, a little.
You
I'm
are.
trying to be, yeah.
I don't think you try to be things. You just are things.
Yeah. Well, it's a goal to reproduce a work of art and sell it to people this year. So
I like that goal. You could sell some tonight at the release show.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Think about it.
I'm gonna think
in the next hour.
Yep.
Reproduce it really fast.
Yep.
And bring it. But it's alcohol ink. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of a malleable ink that you can move around with like rubbing alcohol or like other solutions, and it makes cool designs. And
it does.
Probably the sort of thing you should wear a mask when you do in a well-ventilated area. But I was like, I wonder why I like this so much, and I wonder if I'm just killing my brain cells.
You got so many, I bet.
I think so.
I bet you got so many. I've linked below all the places you can find Dave. Not many places, but Instagram is a place where you can follow Dave and learn all about the many people he plays with, and also you can see the artwork. And you also make bread. Mm-hmm. And also, I think during COVID, you and your wife made 2 children. Is that true?
Yeah,
was it 2 kids in, like the last since COVID?
Yeah. Yep. 2019 and 2022.
Oh, okay.
21.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 2 little youngins.
Yes, and you're also teaching the youth of America via what? Piano lessons, guitar lessons.
Yeah, Twin Town Guitars in South Minneapolis.
So you do a lot of cool things. One show that you're doing coming up next week, because you're all coming to the Ice House already, so I don't need to tell you that. But next Thursday, you will be at Ice House. Stacey K is opening for Eli Gardner, who was just here in the bathroom a few weeks ago. It's his single release party for his live album. So that will be, you can just stay at Ice House. Ice House is a great place to just hang out. It's really delicious. And when you had a release show there, I don't know, it was maybe a year and a half ago and outside, and it was
That was cool too.
So cool.
Patio's great. The inside's kind of redone in there now. It's pretty ripping. New sound and everything. It's awesome.
Well, we're going to rip tonight. We're going to be ripping.
Ripping, I think so.
Have you ever been to Ripon, Wisconsin?
No, where is that?
It's like in between Appleton and Milwaukee.
Okay.
They
So
have a
one of those
college
like
there.
Towns.
One of those towns.
Yeah.
One of those
Cool
towns.
Wisconsin towns.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions that I ask on Toilet Tunes. You ready for that? The first one is, Dave Mehling, will you tell me something good? Uh-oh. Tell me.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple of things. I've been thinking about my kids a lot because I have to spend so much time with them. But they were traditionally really good sleepers, and now they're not. But that's just because things change in the house. Like, their beds are different.
Yeah.
But they're both potty trained, which is just awesome.
That's so amazing.
Because they don't have to buy diapers and stuff, and then I think that's really cool. So that's one good thing.
That's super good.
And then I feel like, I put that little EP out, and this thing came out, and our friend Haley, Haley Rydell, who's singing with us tonight, I played on her record, and that came out a couple weeks ago, and I just feel excited about putting music out again.
Yeah.
Because the shows are cool, and people say nice things to you when you put out music. It's really, really rewarding,
Right.
So, it's nice. And not like we're searching for constant validation all the time, but it helps a little bit.
I mean, we're searching for constant validation sometimes.
Yeah, to keep trucking, and
Yeah.
it's fun. So I'm hoping to put out some other stuff I'm working on soon.
You write one of the ways, in addition to Beach Boy, is you were writing with our songwriting group for a while, and that was another place where I just saw like Dave Mehling on display, and I was like, I really like this guy's brain. Is that a weird thing to say?
Nope.
It just what I could tell of your brain, anyways. Are you writing much right now, or is that kind of pausing?
Yeah, I'm writing a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like I always tend to write, like lately, like lots of instrumental music and kind of studio experiment and little backgroundy kind of things, but I have gotten the pen and paper out recently. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember, so you talked about studio experimenting. So one of the cool things about this record was it had elements of a process I was used to, which is like, let's get to the studio and record. That's definitely in there, and Thomas and Andrew and Lars are on it, and we did 3 days a year ago, actually this week. But then you did a lot of what I would call studio magic. Do you remember all the things you played in your attic on the album? Or a non-extensive list, but maybe an extensive list? What do you got?
Yeah, some instruments with strings.
Okay.
And some with buttons. I think would be the two categories. But nothing that I blew into.
Okay.
So, but some guitars and dulcimers and just different keyboards and stuff. But yeah.
I like
just different
Dave
textures,
Mehling with buttons.
Yeah,
as a future band name for you. Just consider.
You either have buttons or strings.
Yeah, okay.
Which one do you want?
Right. Do
both.
keys count as buttons?
I'm thinking they're like buttons. Yeah.
Okay, so you never played the melodica, which would be blowing into but had keys.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
No. That's funny. That's the second conversation about melodica I've had in 24 hours.
Really?
And Melissa, my wife, said I should get one.
My son wants one.
Okay.
I kind of am scared to have.
I'm gonna get him one.
They don't never stop.
They don't call them melodicas anymore.
Oh.
Honer rebranded them. I mean, they do, but Honer rebranded them, and now they're called like fun boxes or like.
What? That's not a good rebrand.
Like Windjammer or something. It's like kid. It has like a kid like playing it on the front.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna definitely get him one of those Windjammers.
Here's your Windjammer.
Because he plays piano, so.
He plays piano, and when he gets into a thing,
Yeah.
It is nonstop. So if he were to acquire a Windjammer, we'd be windjamming.
Yep.
We'd be windjamming.
Yep.
Okay. Next song I ask on Toilet Tunes is, will you take us by the ears and spin us out to something that you're listening to that's making your ears hot right now?
Oh, yes. Well, you know what album I put on in the car the other week was that Fiona Apple record, Fetch the Bolt Cutters.
Yes.
Because I listened to it when it came out, and then I thought about it for 2 years, and I didn't listen to it again, and then I listened to it again, and I just can't believe how that thing sounds.
It's amazing.
I've never heard any music like that before in my life.
So tell me, Fiona Apple, is she someone that you were a fan of, and your friends too? But did you have a relationship with her musically
Not really.
before that?
I know the second album and the third album, like Something Machine. I saw her on that tour. But I went to see Damien Rice, who was the opener. But this album just like caught me off guard.
Yes.
So good.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, I just love the whole process by which it sounds like it was made, which is like off the cuff, but also very focused.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just reading. So I had no Fiona Apple relationship, and then that came out in March 2020, I think, and it was like I feel like Ben Cook felt someone's like, give it a chance, really give it a chance, and I took it on a run, and I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I was like, it blew my mind, and it felt like nothing I'd ever heard before, and I kept coming back to it, and it was challenging to my ears sometimes, and I still kept going for it. And I just read last week Austin Kleon, he's one of my favorite like bloggers to read, and it was like, I'm looking at this album 3 years later with a new sense of admiration, because she'd worked on it for years, and it just happened to come out right at that time when we were all, I mean, you probably were already recording at home, but like, because she mostly recorded at home, she used GarageBand a ton. I mean, I don't know, it just, yay, I'm glad you brought that up.
I like that too, just like listening a few years later to something, and it's like the same thing that, you know, we did in the studio, and we recorded in May, and you know, it took like 8 months, which maybe was too long, but maybe not.
It took exactly the right time. Sorry to hold your hand.
That's okay.
Now I'm gonna look at your eyes.
It's good to just put space in between things.
Yeah.
Because even though you're gonna interpret it differently, maybe in a worse way, sometimes it's good just to you have to listen with fresh ears.
Yeah. One of the reasons I hadn't worked with a producer before, I really trusted that even though it was taking longer than like my organizey, clenchy heart wanted it to, that it was like for good reason. And we did space out, you know, I feel like I came to your house probably 20 different times for like tiny sessions of singing.
Yeah. And remember what we talked about, like, if you don't have like a label that advances you 50 grand, like you do have the advantage of time.
Yeah.
And you can, and care. Yeah. That's a good thing to have on your side as a independent artist, you know.
I think there's a lot of good things, honestly. I mean, not that I'm saying if you were to come at me with like $1 million right now, but I do feel like there's a gift that we have in that way, independent artists. Okay, the last question is, Dave Mehling, where are you learning right now in your life, in the world?
My kids, patience, that kind of thing. Yeah. Probably pretty common thing that we're all sort of learning.
It's good to have teachers that you just like, you know, you're like, oh, I need some teachers. Let's make them. Let's have them.
I know. I want to learn more though. I was just sitting at the park the other day, and they were doing their own thing almost, and I was like, oh, I could read a book. And I haven't been able to read too much in the last like year or two, and it's like, that'll be exciting to sort of figure new things out again.
Yeah. When they get to different stages. Yeah. And then you have space in your brain to do things that you, I mean, this is my experience anyways, like that I was like, oh, that again, because I'm not trying to decode what that sound means, and you know, that sort of thing. That's a good place to be learning.
But otherwise, mostly Facebook. That's where I learn everything.
Facebook's so smart.
I know.
It's really
That's where I get all my news and jokes. And
do you have a good joke? Did you
no, I don't know any
recently?
jokes. I don't know any jokes.
All
Do
right.
you know one?
I don't. Well, what did the whale use to cut the sea in half?
I have no idea.
A seesaw. That's left over from when Alistair was like
Yeah.
3. I held on to that
That's
one
pretty good.
because it made me chuckle, and then I was just like,
Cute.
gonna keep it forever.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fun.
Yes. I don't know much, Dave, but I do know that I think you're awesome.
Thank you.
Like, really awesome in a lot of ways. Thank you for helping me make this record. It's got Dave all over the place. His name's here. His name's there. His name's there. And then I insisted on my picture being everywhere else.
It's cool. I love that art.
So my neighbor did that.
That's so cool.
So I link below where you can find Dave. And maybe I'll link to these artists too.
I think you should.
I think you should. I think I should. Because I love to link to things, as maybe you know if you watched Toilet Tunes before, but it is an extensive list of very awesome musicians. 2 of which will be with us tonight. Emily Havoc, opening the show, pretty much just making me drool with like, oh my gosh, how she's so amazing. And then Haley Rydell will be there. Taylor won't be because he has a show also that night. What a jerk.
I know.
Just kidding. Taylor also donated the upright bass that we
that's
needed
right.
in session, so he gets a shout out on the album as
Oh,
well.
cool.
This is the part of the show where I get to thank the Sarah subscribers over Patreon. These amazing humans. You're one of them, Dave. Thank you. They allowed me to pay Dave. Dave, thanks for making it possible for me to pay you.
Yeah.
But really, I could not do Toilet Tunes or make records or anything without these people that I love so much that it's awkward. I would give each one of you slightly uncomfortable eye contact. I would. Toilet Tunes, Fridays at noon for a few more weeks. We're going to take a summer break, but until next week, I encourage you, and you too, to stay toilet tuned.
Look at this man, so blessed with inspiration. Look at this soul, still searching for salvation.